Welcome to the Flynn Effect podcast, where we dive deep into all things culture, industry news, and history, all with the goal of helping our clients to perform better.
So I am back here with Paul Hill, infamous art director, one of my favorite people. And Paul, you are known as the most fun person in the office. So you told me the only way that you would come on this podcast is if we did something like Hot Ones. So wings, in the morning didn't seem like a great idea. But Bean Boozled, I have an 8-year-old and this is her favorite game. So we're going to do some rapid fire questions today. And as we go through them, you are going to take jelly beans. And for any viewers who don't know what Bean Boozled is, some of the jelly beans are just regular jelly beans. And some taste like things like dirty socks or dishwater. So we'll see what happens as we go. But
I'm freaking stoked to be on this episode.
Perfect. Well, thank you for bringing the fun to the podcast. These lovely Bean Boozled.
Start with the red.
Let's hope you're going to get a good one. All right. I'm just going to watch your face and see how bad it is. All right. Print or digital?
Digital.
Digital. Start with a concept or start with visuals?
Concept always.
Solo brain or group brainstorm?
Boy, that's a great one. I think group.
Group. Best time to think creatively, morning or midnight?
Holy midnight.
And one word creatives overuse.
Again. Oh, that's Brad. Sorry. This will be really fun. We gave up this fun idea. It's going to be really fun.
I'll say the one that I think you and everyone says is you'll say, I kind of did this thing. And I'm like, you didn't kind of do it. You did it.
I did this thing.
I kind of was thinking. All right. We'll move on to section 2 here.
All right, I'll do another one.
Yep.
That one wasn't bad.
That wasn't bad? All right. What separates fine creative from great creative? So fine's one of my least favorite words. But what makes it great?
As if somebody told me once, the good is the enemy of the great.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, there's a level of craft and you just kind of, I think, keep kind of working at it and shaping it and molding it until it feels like it's right. I think helps sometimes to walk away, come back and look at it again with a fresh eye. So I think it's just, you can usually tell when the time has been put in, when somebody has crafted something, whether it's print or digital. It just feels like you see that level of finish that makes it great, not good.
Great. What part of the creative process do people underestimate the most? I know as an account, I'll say, Paul, can I have this tomorrow? And you want to throw something at me, but you don't.
Probably just, I think it's the iterations. And I just said, you kind of look at it and come back and look. So I think there's so many times where you just kind of put it away and then look back and it's like, that wasn't quite right. Or, so many times you find yourself just before you're going to send it, it's like, oh, I just noticed something that was a little off in this. I got to fix it. So I think there's some finessing, hopefully not too much tweaking, because that's probably not a great thing all the time, but a little bit of that pushing it to the really finest part.
Great. All right. You want to take another one? We're going to do rapid fire again.
So far, 2 good ones.
All right. Client brief, inspiration or obstacle?
Inspiration.
Thank you for saying that. Strategy decks, helpful or ignored?
Dirty socks. No, wait. That's the jelly bean. Sorry. Wait, what was the question again?
Strategy deck, helpful or ignored?
Oh, absolutely. Totally.
Yeah.
Read it.
You're doing a great job of sucking up here. More rounds equals better work, yes or no?
Definitely no.
Kill your darlings. Is it easy or painful?
So hard to kill your babies, but they must, the darling got to go, even though, yes, you get very attached to them.
Sketch first or jump straight to design on screen?
Got to do a little sketch.
Yeah, you're the king of sketch.
I think
you might be as good of a animator at drawing as you are at working on screen there. I always love your little drawings.
That is sketch.
Yeah. All right. We'll go to a couple more bigger questions here. What trends in creative are exhausting right now?
I don't want to say exhausting. Obviously, it's on everybody's mind. I know we did a quick compilation of everybody saying AI for every episode last year. it just feels like it's just in and out of everything. So, it's just hard to kind of see what is going to emerge as the leader. So exhausting, no. Prevalent, yes. Hard to kind of keep up and figure out, what's the path everything's going to take. But exciting, because I think, there's so many times we've created something with AI and been like, wow, that's pretty amazing. Other than 6 fingers.
6 fingers. Yeah, you got to watch for those fingers. What are brands, on that note, what are brands copying that they absolutely shouldn't be?
Well, you never want to jump on too many trends, because it's a trend because it goes away. Boy, that's a good one. That's a good one. I would have to say, like, celebrities that just don't feel like they're right for the brand, or maybe they just don't come off as real or approachable. So sometimes that's weird to me, when their celebrity just doesn't seem to fit
We
the
saw
brand,
that.
or they're just not on,
Yeah, we saw that a lot with the Super Bowl. I felt like the ads in the Super Bowl this year just threw celebrities for no reason at us. So that works. All right, another rapid fire round.
So far, pretty good.
So far, not bad.
Those look like toothpaste. We'll see.
Yeah. Safe or bold?
Bold.
Purpose-driven ads, are they sincere or forced?
I'm going to go in between on that one.
Minimalism, timeless or overdone?
It's timeless.
Short form video, is it a creative dream or a nightmare?
It's the only good video, because, attention span theater. So yeah, you got to keep it short. I feel like we always know, and it could be at 2 minutes, could be 5 minutes. It's like something's starting to drag. It just felt like, okay, that was the point. I sort of kind of tuned out. So maybe not short is the answer, but there's a certain point you just feel in your heart, your gut, that it just was running too long, and then, you start to lose your attention. So probably shorter is better.
And finally, are brands too obsessed with relevance? Like trying to stay current on trends and some of the TikTok-y stuff.
You got to be quick for that, because they, come and go. But I think the ones that do it right, I was just looking at some stuff from Heinz Ketchup, and they've got a new, suit for the 57th pick for the draft. And I just thought that was very timeless, or timely, I should say, coming into the draft. And, you have to react fast, especially when some of the creative is reacting to something that's out there in the world. Well, obviously you've got to be right on point there, or, the kind of trend goes away. So,
yeah. I think, like you said, it's the relevance to the brand, kind of with the celebrities, that I always think, does it make sense, or is it just to show up in a feed?
Right.
All right. Section 4. We're going to talk about revisions here.
So far, that was toothpaste. It was not bad.
What's the most common feedback that kills great work?
Make it pop. No, no, that's not a bad comment. I think sometimes it's hard to pinpoint exactly what clients, if they can't articulate what it is. But yeah, probably that, and maybe there's too much, white space, or, as we say, I see dead space.
Like, keep it. Yeah, don't have to fill every piece of white. How do you determine when to push back versus letting something go, whether it's with me, someone else internally, or even a client?
Sometimes it's timing, if it's got to go out the door. But I think there's some things you just really feel strong, and you really got to defend it. And I think those just come up when maybe it was a really passionate project, or something you really knew a lot about, or spent some time on. And if somebody just kind of comes in and says, yeah, I'm not sure, that's tough to not defend and say, here's why, here's the things, that got going for it. So defend.
Yeah. All right, rapid fire here. Another round. And I must have been reading your mind, because the first question I have here is, can we make it pop? Okay, well.
Ow! Whoa!
Oh, what was that one?
I have no idea. Wow.
All right, and that's what the people are here for.
That's what the people are here for.
Oh my God. You good?
I'm good.
All right. So can we make it pop?
We can make it pop.
All right.
Yeah. Some color in there.
How do you feel about this one? My spouse liked the other version.
I have my wife look at a lot of things to test because she's not in the business, and I always feel like, that person that's not in the business is a great feedback.
Mhm.
So, or gives, very good feedback. So, I would certainly take it into consideration before I said, that's not up to you.
Yeah. And then just roll your eyes. Yeah. Just one more tweak.
One more tweak.
That's one of
I
my
have to
favorite
say
pieces of
I'm okay with
feedback.
that. I do feel like I'm a tweaker, and I know we've talked about,
Hmm.
when the pressure's on and the deadline is looming, that's kind of when we shine. So
Hmm.
a tweak here or there at the last minute is, yeah, I'm
That's
for
when
it.
I'm
I'm all
standing
for
over
it.
your shoulder saying, "Can I have the deck? The meeting's in 4 minutes. Can I have the
4
deck?"
minutes, it's lunch.
You're like, "Yeah, exactly." That's what you usually say. Do you like to send a deck or live walkthrough?
Live walkthrough.
Feedback limit. Is there an ideal number of rounds to greatness?
If you're getting into your double digits, I feel like you're probably going downhill at that point. But, I feel like, there's always something with a collaboration that
Mm-hmm.
kind of gets everything a little tighter. So a couple rounds,
Yeah.
usually is not bad. If you're dealing with people that, you feel like you can trust their opinion,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's always a good thing.
Oh, good. All right. We've got a couple more rounds here. Uh, AI. We have to talk about AI.
We have to.
So, what scares you about AI and creative?
It I think everybody just feels like it's just going to take over. I hate to think of people losing their livelihood because of it. I'm not sure that's quite there. It does feel like there's kind of diverging paths at this point of love and hate. I probably just, the deep fakes and the things that it feels like they're out there for harm, and
Mhm.
misrepresenting things, or people, doing the wrong thing with it. So that's probably the biggest fear, and certainly a little bit of the environmental part of
Mhm.
it. But I feel like probably the most is just, use in the wrong
Yeah.
hands.
Yeah. Yeah. There's everything now. I can't even figure out half the things if they're real or fake. Have to Google fact check everything. What excites you about AI and creative?
I think it's getting better. I think it's super powerful. It allows, just so many iterations. And I think like any inspiring tool, you can just find that, I didn't think of that. And it came up with that kind of on its own. Sometimes you get that from just looking at something or going through, like, a portfolio or something. But a lot of times AI just takes you down a path you might not have known. And I tell the other, art directors, one of my favorite settings is, to turn up the chaos, because I think that kind of
Mhm.
leads it into different things. And so it's exciting to see sometimes what it can come up with that
Mhm.
maybe you didn't think of yourself.
Yeah, I've seen some really weird things you've done, or especially around like dental and teeth.
Yeah.
They got real weird. Okay,
The
another
early
rapid
days.
fire on AI.
Sorry, I had to spit that
Um,
last one out. It was
yeah, no,
not good. All right, one more for you.
that's what the people were looking for. AI for ideation, yes or no?
Yeah. I'm looking
Yeah.
for-
Stock replacement or tool upgrade?
Oh. Uh, Say that one again.
Stock replacement or a tool upgrade?
Ooh, I'm gonna say both.
Okay. Faster work equals weaker work, yes or no?
Not necessarily, but like we've just talked about, if you stop there, that's probably not good. But I think faster ideation is great. So yeah, probably a little more toward the first one.
AI mood boards, helpful or lazy?
Helpful.
Where does human taste matter most?
Jelly bean. No. I think you're always curating. So hopefully, you're hitting the buttons and then kind of reviewing it with a person. So I think human creation, or curation, if it is the most important.
So we're going to call this final round the hill to die on.
The hill to die on.
All right.
Great title. Great title.
Yes. Is good creative more about concept or execution?
Both. Is that, wait, can I even say that? Or
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, you can say both.
that'd be
We
both.
can get out of this quick for you. Does everything actually need to be ownable?
No.
I would agree with that. All right, rapid fire. Let's see if he
Oh,
can get
I'm gonna go with another
these
red
seem to
one.
be getting
Oh,
worse.
no,
I feel like as you
you
go.
probably shouldn't be able to see what color they are.
Um Logos, do they still matter?
Absolutely.
Brand guidelines, necessary or restrictive?
I feel like we've been working on that a lot, and it's more become not so restrictive as here's a few examples. Use your own, creative brain to
Mhm.
come up with something similar. I think the guardrails sometimes are so restrictive that either people break them right away because they're not working, or things just start to look the same and everybody is frustrated
Mhm.
after a little time. So hopefully you got some guardrails, but they're minimalist that let you kind of still put your own ideas in there.
Humor in ads, underused or risky?
Totally underused.
I knew you'd say that. Do awards matter?
Awards do matter. And I used to have a thing saved on why, but I just feel like that that just takes you to that place that you're proud of it yourself. And if somebody else can recognize it, again, hopefully it's great for the client and the business and all that. But I
Mhm.
just feel like when your peers, acknowledge that work in such a way that just inspires you. And I really do think creative things they are effective and they do stick in your brain and people like to watch those. So it's no question about it that when there's awards, I think that's kind of goes hand in hand with great work. So,
Nice. Is creative getting braver or safer?
I think that's another divergent path. I think some stuff that I'm seeing is just so intelligent and crazy and cool. And like the Heinz stuff, they're just so
Mhm.
on point. Some of the Coors stuff, I don't remember when the foul ball hit the scoreboard
Yeah.
and the Coors, and they just came up with this little black square, and they're so cool. Kind of the stuff that just makes you go like, "Wow, I wish I had thought of that." So, for sure, I think risky is still risky, but it's very rewarding when it hits. And I think the safe route, as we already talked about, it just kind of gets lost in the
Mhm.
sea, and it certainly works, and you can't really fault it, but it just doesn't feel like you're going to be memorable or have that ownership
Mhm.
to an idea or a brand.
Yeah. Well, to close it out here, we'll just talk about a little personal fun ending here. What's your most controversial creative opinion?
Controversial creative opinion, like that I was trying to push the creative through, or hmm
Yeah.
stall here, it's a dead air, but
Oh,
boy, that's
you're
a tough
killing it.
one.
All right, we can skip. We can skip. But you have to take a bean boozled for skipping. Um, what advice would you give younger creatives? This is a fun one. I
Oh
feel
my
like I'm gonna have to bring
god.
this back for round two.
Oh,
You'll be back in. I'm gonna have you back in like 2 weeks. Yeah, this is great.
what in the hell was that? Good god, wet dog. Oh,
Oh
oh.
gosh. Oh
What was the question again?
yeah. What advice would you give younger creatives?
I would think it's probably a weird time for creatives. They're probably wondering where all these tools are going to go. But I would say, embrace it, embrace your creativity. I think there's always going to be a job for people that are thinkers, that are creators, that are conceptors. They have all the tools at their
Mhm.
disposal, so they're probably in a better place than most of us when we started. So, just don't forget to use your brain and be aware of the world around you, absorb what's going on.
Mhm.
um, we have students come in every year with their portfolios, and I'm always amazed that they come through with great stuff. And I think there's always going to be room and opportunities and careers for people that are passionate about it and really want to do great work. It's out
Awesome.
there.
All right. Final rapid fire. One more.
We're out of reds.
Oh, yeah, you're like, no way. Most painful kill ever.
uh I think every once in a while we're doing work pro bono, and God bless
Yeah.
the clients. I'm not knocking them, but when they start to come back with stuff that just felt like kind of killed the idea, and it's like
Mhm.
we're doing this for you, and it's kind of on our own dime. So those really hurt sometimes to have that killed. So
Mhm.
those are tough.
Um,
We have to go to the foam core furnace, we called it.
oh no. Creative hill you'll die on.
I really don't think I would. I know there's negotiations. I don't think I would ever take it in the heart for something that much. I'm sure we could come to a happy medium, but yeah, I'm not sure if
You're
I'm
not.
really ready
Yeah.
to go that way.
No, I think sometimes I want to fight harder than you do. I'm like, no, I'm gonna
Yep,
fight for
get rid of.
Paul. Better compliment, beautiful or smart?
Oh, beautiful, of course.
And finally, what's one creative skill everyone, not just creatives, should learn?
One creative skill. Wow. I think that the answer to that question is be a sponge. You should be eyes open. You should be ears open. Don't think you know it all. Pretend you don't know anything. Try to listen to people who are different than you and their opinions are different, or maybe they have more seniority. Maybe they don't have the seniority. Maybe they're not even a creative person. Listen to those people. Be observant, and absorbent, because I think great ideas can start anywhere, and the spark can be anything, some simple thing to something complex. So maybe the answer is just be open to ideas and kind of out in the world listening.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Paul, for
Thank you,
joining
Heather.
us today and
I love the jelly beans.
doing the jelly beans.
I'll get
know
those
if it's
ones off the floor that I spit out.
Yeah, I don't know if it's better or worse. Now, you can just go play with the creative team and tell them how good it was and see who you can
Just
get.
put them in a jar and not let anybody know that they're just
just put them in the kitchen and somebody will grab a handful and throw them in their mouth. So awesome. Well, thank you. I'm sure I will have you back before Katie returns
I hope so.
for round 2.
I hope so.
And have a good day. This is always the awkward part.
Thanks, Heather.
Thanks.